And we are back with another edition of the Michigan Recruiting Insider with one of the finest linebacker prospects in the country. We made it all the way down to Mobile, Alabama to see this young man. We've been hearing about him since he broke out. I believe it was at the All-American Combine a couple years ago now.
Yes, that was 2 years.
Yeah, he was one of the top prospects in attendance there. Now it's really his coming out party since then. Colleges from across the land have all come to serve him with scholarships. Of course, he committed to the University of Auburn, or Auburn University, but that didn't stop other colleges from continuing to pursue him, including the University of Michigan. I'm talking about Cottage Hill Christian Academy's finest, Shadarius Toodle. Shadarius, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, glad to be down here and glad to finally have a chance to talk to you face to face and talk about your rise as a prospect, because it feels like you're a hidden gem, like people didn't know about you, like you were tucked away down here for some time. Did you feel that way?
Yes, sir. For a little bit. I just been trusting the process. Just been putting in hard work and just thanking God for every moment He gave me.
And so, versatility as a linebacker is the name of the game. It feels like you're just versatile as an athlete. I mean, you can run the football. I was talking to your AD. He said you get it done on the hardwood as well. So you're just all around athlete, sounds like.
Yes, sir. I've been playing sports since I was little. Had an older brother and a younger brother, so we always play basketball in the backyard.
Okay.
We used to play baseball.
Okay. So who would you say are your biggest sports influences? Would it be your brother? Would it be your father? Would it be your mom? Like, who sort of gave you that hunger, that drive, and who you are as an athlete?
As a driver, I looked at as my older brother. He always been great. He been really good at basketball. Try to like focus my game somewhat like his in basketball, but I just like try to focus, follow after him.
I got you. So you seem like a pretty laid back dude. Just talking to you, not on the field, not laid back on the field, but I'm just talking to you. Now, man, I see all these schools come in to visit you, and then I see your dad there.
Yeah.
And your dad does seem laid back, because I see his attire, and it seems like he has some attire for every school that comes to see you.
Yes.
Where this first of all, does he really have gear for every college in the country? And then second of all, that style, man. I mean, do you take after him in that way?
It's a little bit, but my dad been doing this since I was little. Park ball. He owns a business called Toodle Sports, so he makes sports attire for different schools and stuff. Since I was little, he used to make jerseys, and he used to wear it to my games, and other parents used to want it and stuff like that. So he started like wearing college stuff when I got all these offers.
Okay, all right. So we talked about your rise, your breakout at that combine a couple of years ago, but you were a ball player. You knew you were a ball player before that. For people who haven't seen you play, pretend for a second you're a coach or a scout in the stands. You're watching Shadarius Toodle on the field. Break down your game. Tell them what they'll see.
The coaches see a very aggressive linebacker who can help his team in different ways on offense and defense. Very versatile. I can come down on the D-line, linebacker. Yeah, I can say that's the same thing.
Yeah, man. It feels like you said you can come down D-line, bring you off the edge, rush the passer. You can cover backside of the backfield. You can cover tight ends. Feels like you can play at multiple levels of the defense. So as recruiting unfolded, have you had colleges talk about using you in that? Auburn aside, colleges talking about using you in that way?
I have some schools, like not D-line, but like they have me like an outside linebacker. They see me an outside linebacker. And just some schools, like two or three on.
Is there a player in college or the pros that you compare yourself to, or that you hear people compare you to?
I get a lot of coaches say they compare me to Fred Warner.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that. So you start going through the recruiting process, right? And you're blowing up. Was it exciting all the way through, or did it ever get stressful? Or is it stressful for you? How are you taking it all in?
No, sir. I don't feel like it got stressful. I feel like just pray to God every day and talk to my parents about it. And I feel more relieved about it. And I definitely was excited when I first did.
Yeah. So you you made the decision to commit to Auburn. Now, there was at one point where you had like a decision date, and then you were like, all right, I'm going to push it back. And then you made the decision, and then you said, but I'm going to take visits. So kind of tell me through your thought process about how all of that unfolded, committing, and then, deciding you're going to visit even after you committed.
Yes, sir. I've been to Auburn like a lot throughout my recruitment. I've been there like 6-7 times, and I just felt like the time was right to finally like commit. But I just now realized like I need to still have my options open and see what's best for me and my family in the long run.
So when you go through the process of deciding what other schools that you were going to look at, first of all, let's talk about Auburn. What were the things that led you to commit to Auburn in the first place? You said you had been up there so many times. What was it about Auburn that made you say, this is where I want to commit to?
I've been up there so many times. I got used to the players and the atmosphere, the coaches. I got used to the team. Like, I felt like I was a part of the team, so I just felt like it was time to go.
Okay. All right. So now when you decided to kind of weigh your options, there were a lot of, like, you had schools all over the country, right? So how did you narrow it down? What was the criteria that sort of led you to say, well, these are the few schools that I'm going to take official visits to?
The schools that I narrowed it down to, they always kept intact. They never gave up on me, never stopped recruiting me because I was committed to Auburn. They always, they still believe that I can come to that program.
So who are those, the listeners, the viewers that don't know, who are those schools?
Michigan, Baylor, North Carolina, Michigan, Baylor, North Carolina, and Georgia. So
let's talk about Georgia. So tell me about Georgia. They stayed in contact, but what else did you like about Georgia that made them make the cut?
So the background from the linebackers, first round, they have first round linebackers come out every year. Coach Schumann kept in contact with me throughout my recruitment, never gave up on me. And I now get to meet the team when I just been back in this spring. I got to talk to the team and just felt real good about it.
Okay. Baylor. What about Baylor?
Oh, Baylor. Coach Jamar, Coach Chaney, kept in contact with me throughout this season. First it was Coach Rod. We went to Alabama, and Coach Chaney. He actually was roommates with my head coach, so we had a good relationship with him. And yeah.
All right. So North Carolina, they got new coaching staff, Coach Belichick. I mean, how did that sort of come to fruition that they make the cut?
Oh yes, sir. They actually hit me up this end of this season, right when Coach Bill Belichick got the job, when they started talking to me, and I had to go check that out because Bill Belichick,
You're right.
that guy.
You're right. I get it. So Michigan, they obviously have been a school that was recruiting you for a long time. What was it about them that said, okay, let me go check this out?
Yes, sir. Coach BJ, the linebacker coach, his background just says for itself. All the schools he's been at, coaching linebackers, some of the greatest linebackers. He just kept in contact with me and my family. I always show love. We came on a visit, came to 2 of my basketball games. Yeah, he just continued to show love.
Yeah, it sounds like the personal relationship side of it is a really big deal for you. So you kind of had that vibe with Coach BJ?
Yes, sir. I have a good vibe with Coach BJ. He came to 2 of my games. One on we fell short, but he still stayed the whole game and showed me a lot of support.
So, but then there's the coaching side of it, the player development side of it. So have you gotten a feel for that part of him as a coach and that part of Michigan? Have you gotten a feel for that yet?
Yes, sir, definitely. Michigan has some great athletes. Definitely on the defensive side, have Will Johnson come out draft this year. Michigan definitely have a great development.
Did you get a chance to watch them very much over the past couple of years?
Not last year, I haven't came to see a game, but yeah, I definitely seen them like on TV playing Ohio State and stuff.
Yeah, so last year was, I've been asking all the guys this. Last year was one of those first year for Coach Moore, and it was a little bit up and down at the beginning, but then at the end of the year, the Ohio State game when Will Johnson was out, Coastal Loveland was out. A lot of the top guys were out in that game. They were 4 touchdown underdogs. and they smacked Ohio State again. Did you watch that game? Were you surprised by that game? Did the outcome of that game impact you in any way?
No, sir, I wasn't surprised at all. I know Michigan is a great program. They never was a sorry team, so I wasn't surprised by Michigan being an underdog and winning again.
Okay. So you made it up most recently for a visit during spring ball. I would just say wrap your Michigan experience together. When you've seen it, been up there, what stood out to you the most about being up in Michigan when you look back on?
I say the competition, the way they practice, the way Coach Moore keep them to a standard and during practice, and how Coach BJ coaches linebackers. I just love that about Michigan.
So you have a vibe with Coach BJ and appreciation for him even as a coach. What about Coach Moore? Did you get a good feel for him, and what do you think of Coach Moore?
I feel like Coach Moore is a great head coach. I got to sit in his office with me and my family to talk about life, talk about like normal stuff. But I feel like Coach Coach Moore is a great coach.
What about Coach Wink? Defensive coordinator, Coach Wink Martindale. You get a feel for him at all?
Yes, I got a little feel for him. We sitting in a meeting room, just going over how he was a coach of the Ravens, showing the defense and stuff. Yeah, I feel like I got a good feel for him.
All right, so Shadarius, as you look at things now, still committed to Auburn, but you got these official visits that you're taking to weigh your options as you get ready to settle on a final decision. How are you going to do it this time? What are going to be the factors this time that lead you to knowing this choice is the right choice?
I'd say the development and the spoon and how help me in the long run after football. Like say if God forbid I don't make it to the NFL, how would the school benefit me and my family after I graduate?
So when you go on these official visits, because you've been to these schools before, like what are you going to be looking for different when you go on these visits?
I say get to know the team more. I say get a better relationship with the coaches. See how my family like it, because I can't. Yeah, if you're my violent. Yeah. But
yeah, man. So that's one of the benefits. Well, that Auburn has, one of the advantages that Auburn has. When you talk about factors, one of the things you didn't say was distance from home. So how big of a factor is distance from home going to be for you?
It's not a factor at all. My mom and dad, they gonna come to my games regardless. They gonna find a way. They always come to my games since I was 4 years old. They're gonna find a way to come.
So not even a little bit of a factor. You just said your mom. You know how moms are.
Yeah.
They like you close, right? So
yeah.
Auburn's close. Georgia's a little close. That's not in it. Baylor's Michigan is the farthest away.
Nah, my mom and my dad gonna pull up regardless. They gonna come to my games regardless. Of how far it is, don't matter.
Okay. All right. So when you get ready to make that final decision, how does that process go? Is it you sit down, because I can tell you're really tight with your family. Do you guys all sit around the table and go back and forth about the pros and the cons of each school and collectively come to a decision, or do you sit at a table, they all tell you what they think, you take their feedback, and then you go off and you decide what you're going to do? How is it going to go?
Yeah, my parents definitely going to help me with making this decision, but we all going to come together. They're going to tell me what they like, and I tell them what I like. We all going to come to a conclusion and pick this school.
All right. So one factor that all guys consider, some more than others, but I'm curious what you think, is NIL. How big is NIL going to be for you, and what are schools saying to you about that?
I feel like NIL is not a big thing in my recruitment, because in the long run, I really want to go to NFL. That's what really going to change my family life. I mean, NIL, it's just cool right now, but the main goal is the NFL. That's why I really want.
All right, so your dad said that, one of the things that could make, even though distance is not a factor, one thing that could make it feel like it's closer to home. He said your granddad lives up in Monroe, Michigan. That's right. So you got family up there?
Yes, sir. My dad live up there.
Okay.
I still have family up there.
Okay. All right. So you got a connection up there. So now the other piece is, you said getting close to the players. Clearly you're close to the Auburn guys.
Okay.
But you've been in a recruiting class, so you imagine you're close to some guys in the recruiting class. And have you forged any connections with any guys yet at other schools? Any guys in other recruiting classes yet?
And other recruiting classes, I'll say linebacker from Williamson. I have a somewhat good relationship with him. He is a 2027, one of the top linebackers in the country.
Okay.
So I have a good relationship with him, and I got a relationship with Tank Jones.
Okay. So yeah, so that's interesting because all these schools recruiting Tank.
Yes, sir.
So have you guys talked about going to school together?
I've been trying to. I've been trying to get him to try to see if we could team up somewhere because we were supposed to team up in high school, but that just didn't work out. But I tried to get him to team up with us in college.
You think he liking the idea?
Yes, sir. I think he liking the idea, but that's up to him and his family. What benefits them. So I can't make that decision.
Were you guys? You weren't in Michigan at the same time, were you? Or were you?
No, we wasn't.
I think he made it the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he made it up that weekend. All right, so now one of the things I like to do, I would have done this if you were in studio, but so Shadarius, you have a village that's been helping you along your way in this journey to do what you're doing, becoming a great athlete, a great student. I could tell all the support you have from your AD, your teachers, and of course your family. There with you every step of the way. When you fall, they help pick you up. When you do well, they'll help you celebrate and continue to do that. This is your opportunity to shout out all of those people that's there with you along the way in your journey, and do that right now.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank God because without God, none of this would be possible. Thank my parents, my granddaddy, my grandma. I want to thank all my teachers that helped me through this time. And I want to thank Coach Thomas, my head coach, Coach Jones, because Coach Jones helped me a lot throughout this process. I want to thank my principal, Ms. Noon, helping me with my grades and helping me get ready for the next level, and all my teachers.
And so now, when you get ready to sit down and make that decision, it's gonna be. I wonder if that's when the stress is really gonna get in. Is there any chance that you're gonna come to a decision on these officials, or are you gonna take some time after the officials to really let it all settle in and make your decision after that?
I feel like right after my official visits, like I'll probably get, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll probably wait like a week after all my official visits and choose to make my decision.
Okay. You have any special way that you're gonna announce it?
Me and my family still thinking about that part. We thinking about having like a commitment party or.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So last one for you. I'm gonna close it out with a Michigan question. Is you could pick out the thing you like the most about Michigan right now, what would it be? And if you could single out the biggest question you have about Michigan right now, what would it be?
I'd probably say the best thing I like about Michigan right now is the stadium. I love the way how they have the biggest stadium in college football, have the most fans, how the atmosphere is crazy. I love to have playing that one day.
Okay. And your biggest question about Michigan at this point?
Biggest question. I gotta think about that. I probably say, my bad.
Yeah. So you don't have any questions right now.
Questions right now.
Okay. All right. So it's just mainly sounds like you want to get to know what the player's perspective when you get up there, get to know some of the guys.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's see and if we, depending on how things go, if we want to get down and see you play in the fall, like what are some big games maybe to circle on the schedule for you?
I say definitely a big game. Bayside, they got some guys on their team. T.R. Miller, they got some guys, and I say the third one probably be Flemington.
Okay. All right. Well, Shadarius, it's been a pleasure, man. Good luck the rest of the way in recruiting. Sounds like you have taken it all in stride, so continue doing that, man, and wish you nothing but the best. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And thanks for watching another edition of the Michigan Recruiting Insight.